Here's the lobby. And in the lobby, of course, we have our morph ahead, who basically is the facility in which our students will start off by traveling inside from this point here, as you can see Blondie, going through what's called micromorph. Micromorph takes you then up through this particular area here, in through the syringe, through and into a fantastic voyage into the ear of our assembly here. And so therefore, on this outside in the lobby area, this guy's, maybe about 5 or 10 feet tall or something like that. But you can see here, this is a mirror. So if somebody's looking for a particular person, they can look around with this x-ray mirror inside the heart or the eye or the brain or wherever that particular person may be. So with that thought in mind, let's go and see where our students actually really end up. And where they end up is through the back here, as you can see. You can see the little character down here. There's legs there sticking out on that. You can see the little blue area there where the legs are at the end of the syringe. And the syringe comes over to here where you can see the little guy coming out. He goes down the ear canal, and other kids here playing with this little sledgehammer, banging on the tympanic membrane. And then, of course, one can travel through the 8th cranial nerve, venture into the brain. And so one can be traveling around the brain there and at various parts of the brain and such. They can travel into the eye. And of course, here in the eye is where, if you look closely, you could see there's somebody inside the eye. And then there's a camera in the eye and a monitor. So when the person is inside the eye, they're looking out and they're seeing what's ever taking place here from morph ahead, where other people looking in will see what this camera displays is where the particular kid is in mind. So nevertheless, you travel on through there. You can travel about the brains, different parts of the brain, the actual facility. I'd like to have 2 eyes. The left eye, the right eye, left brain, right brain. We'd have one side that's the anatomy and physiology, and the other side representing that which we want to know as the difficulties and the diseases and the anomalies that take place, such as in the brain we can have problems with chemical imbalance or a stroke, where the student would go forth and place a stent in or stop the particular bleed that's causing neurological damage, or adding TPA, which is the anticoagulation factor that helps relieve the blood clot and so forth. A part of all this would include laboratory radiology that the kids would learn and travel about. They would go into the heart and then venture into the various parts of the heart. Looks like I never took my chambers off here, but nevertheless, you can go and the students would travel into the various chambers and look at the heart valves and identify what a particular concern is. And then you go on over here where you have an electron morph event, and you can go ahead and now travel on over here to where the neural synapses take place and such, where we have the neuron, and one can travel through the syringe and even go in further into the dynamics of our cellular activity. And then you can go into the DNA, and then you can travel on up into our DNA model and so forth to look at the various components in thereof. So nevertheless, right here, that's our time machines. This would be the elaborate version where we can actually build an exterior heart and brain and eye and so forth. But in reality, what this would be is just a huge building, and interior of the building, we would build that of the eye and what it would be like from the inside perspective of the brain as well as in the heart, instead of trying to build this particular structure on the outside that would be a lot more elaborate, to say the least. And of course, the first part of this, if I were to have an opportunity to make this happen, I would develop the lobby, and I'd go on to the eye and the brain as phase 1, and actually it'd be a phase 2 of this particular project, because phase 1 would be developing a studio where we're creating the videos to make this happen. This is Synapse.